this fall. And I've been involved in the Parks and Rec for a very long time, ever since I was a very young boy.
Thank you again. Welcome. Paul?
My name's Paul Best, and so this is my first day on the board, so very excited. So I've lived in Lake Forest since 2001. I'm from the Chicago area originally, grew up in Evanston. Evanston, lived in Chicago, Oak Park, and so consider myself a Chicagoan most of my life. And so I've been here since 2001. I have a wife, a daughter who is 16 at Lake Forest High School, junior, and a son at Deer Path Middle School who's in 7th grade. And we really enjoy the community, and I'm really excited to participate on Parks and Rec Board. And I look at this as being one of the great assets that the community has to offer to its citizens, and so I'm happy to be part of the process. Thanks.
Thank you. Jake?
Yeah, hi, my name's Jake Lee. I've lived in Lake Forest for about 2 years now, and my wife and I live right across the street from Cherokee Elementary. We have 4 kids. 2 are currently at Cherokee, 2 at DPM, and just really passionate about activities, sports, recreation, and trying to help. Obviously, we've got some awesome things going on, help improve that for the city. So,
Thank you. Next item is approval of the minutes from our April 19th meeting. Are there any corrections or additions that anybody wants to make? If not, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
one abstain.
Oh, what?
Since I wasn't here, should I abstain? Or
That's, I don't know, Sally, can we?
What you will need to do is push your approval of the minutes to the June meeting, because do not have a voting quorum.
Okay,
Okay, so you would,
sorry to throw things.
nope,
right.
that's fine. You would,
not a problem. Next, opportunity for citizens. I don't see any citizens in the audience, so we'll move on. Next, Joe, I'll introduce our new program manager.
Thank you, Chairman Kohlmeyer, and good evening, members of the board. I'm here this evening to introduce to you our newest program manager. His duties include the lakefront, all of the activities down there, both ends, from the management of the north to the boating and the sailing programs on the south. He also is in charge of all of our risk management responsibilities for the department. The CPR training that we do for all of our staff will also fall underneath him, as well as in the winter, since the beach isn't an optimum place. He is in charge of all of our skating ponds at West Park as well, and schedules and staffs that. So we're real excited and fortunate to have him on board. A little background is he has spent the past 17 or so years working in the field of Parks and Recreation. He spent a good portion in Florida working for Orange County Parks and Rec, managing waterfront, marinas, things like that, as well as a good portion of his career has been spent working with Disney in their water areas as well. He is married, he has 2 children, and he lives in Gurnee. So welcome, Aaron, and he's going to be up here a big part of tonight's meeting, so thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, board and chairman. Thank you for having me tonight. So I'm going to present 2 different things for y'all tonight, and the first one is going to be about the Forest Park Beach concessions. This year we're going to go with the Shuby Shack. The Shuby Shack is part of the RCA Chicago, which means Restaurant Concepts of America. They've been around the area since 2008. Head chef Steve Chiapetti. Why we're going with RCA is they have a history at Eloa Farms. They have a variety on the menu, and then they also have an extensive history in the food prep industry. Their hours of operation are going to be Sunday 8 to 4, during the week 11 to 6, and then Saturday 8 to 7. They're going to do daily operations, weather permitting. Sunday breakfast they have planned, patio seating area, and a friendly staff. The menu, they're going to have the normal concession menu stuff like hot dogs, your brats, your snacks, your nachos, your candy bars, ice cream, etc. But then they're also going to try to do a little flavor for meals, try to kind of make it not just a concession, but kind of a place to go to dine too. So they have some different options for their lunch and dinner. Here's some sample menus that they came with me for breakfast. They want to do some burritos and waffles. Got to have your coffee, get us going in the morning, right? So they're going to offer coffee. Lunch and dinner, they're going to offer some salads. Then you have the nachos. You got your hot dog. Can't forget about the brat. That's a fan favorite. So they're going to have the brat offered. Then they also got an Italian sub. And then this is kind of where I was talking about some special, more sit-down place, the half slab of rib. And then they're going to do some tacos and chicken. Sides, they have the fruit cup, bag of chips. Got to have the pickle. That's a fan favorite with the kids. Ice cream, Italian ice. Drinks, they are backed by Pepsi, so they will have all the Pepsi drinks down there, some lemonade, iced tea, bottled water. Any questions about the concession? Because that is part one of my two-part presentation.
So how has the menu changed from last year?
I don't know what the menu was last year. I wasn't here. But I know some of the offerings, I believe ribs is new. And some of the other concepts they showed me, like they're bringing back breakfast. Breakfast wasn't offered last year.
Okay.
I have a question. So it's opening May 29th. Is that Sunday? Or are we going to open Saturday of?
They're opening on the 29th.
They're
They're
open
opening on a Sunday.
So not the Saturday.
Correct.
Memorial Day. Okay. And then I mentioned last year, and I'm not sure what the plan is from a communication standpoint, there was irregularities as far as when the last group was open. And so I don't know if it's possible we can post this on the website so we know when it's open or closed, or if there's some way that we can make sure that that is clear to the
Yeah, I think we can look into that.
Yeah.
Because I know when we close like the skate ponds, we have the little banner that says closed or something.
Okay. Yeah, and as long as, I think even last year we didn't have the hours or the menu posted, so
Okay.
both those things might be helpful. And
Right, correct.
I know there's logistical challenges doing that, so
Correct.
appreciate any work. Thanks.
Anything else? No. Thank you. You're up again.
I'm up
Next.
again. All right. All right, so next I'm going to talk a little bit about the overview of the beach this year, kind of things I'm implementing and doing, and let you know some information. So you might see these symbols on the new staff's uniform. We kind of have three staffs down there, the sailing staff, lifeguards, and the beach staff. One of my big goals is to make it all one staff instead of, have three separate staffs, have one staff so it's very fluid. Everybody can kind of answer questions, have a good guest service. So you'll see these on the back of their shirts. I kind of wanted to do something where it's kind of the same but different so you know the steps, but it kind of unites us as one lakefront. So that's kind of what I did there. We're going to have a little overview. I'm going to talk about what's up on the slide, go over the things with y'all tonight. So the beach is open year-round. We're going to guard the beach Memorial Day weekend. That's going to be our opening day. And then we're going to go full-time June 4th to August 21st. And then the weekends of August 28th and 26th will be there, and Labor Day weekend. Basin attendants will be there to assist with the boating, and beach guards will be there as well. Beach staff, this is kind of overview of what we did this year. And actually, lifeguards were up in a little numbers from 25 just as recently. But this is a general of what we have, lifeguards, beach guards. I really worked on, telling returning staff of my expectations and new staff. So I'm kind of proud of the staff already. So we have rentable spaces down there. We have boat pavilions. We have the South Pavilion, the fire pit. Those are the people they can accommodate. There's the prices for the renting. This is also on our website under the pavilion permit. Non-resident fees for walk-ups. It's free on weekdays, Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday. Holidays and weekends, it is $10 per non-resident. Friendly reminders to our patrons, no pets unless it's a service animal, no alcohol at the beach, no running or walking on the ramps due to safety with the vehicles, no smoking down there, no bicycles, skateboards, or scooters, and please stay off the rocks for your safety. We don't want you to get bit by a mink. Boating center. So we're going to kind of roll this out instead of rentals, and the big push here is we have a lot of craft down there, and we want them to use it. So we want to make it easier to use. You can buy a pass, use it all summer. We really want to get the youth involved in the community in taking out our kayaks and our stand-up paddle boards. That's what the SUP stands for. And we're also going to have a U.S. Sailing 1 instructor on duty every day to make sure, you kind of know the vessels before we take them out. These are the programs that we offer currently with sailing. There's a lot on there. I'm not going to read them all, but we offer a lot. The new ones, I'll touch base on these a little bit. We have Little Leffers for the little guys. That's a pretty popular one. We're rolling out Camp Awesome this year. And then we added adult sailing and the boating center, obviously. And then we're also going to do a boat launch punch pass, which you would go to the rec center, buy a pass, and it would be registered to the boat, and then we would punch it each time. So instead of buying a single-day pass, you could get a 5-day pass. Again, trying to simplify things and better customer service. Lake Forest Sailing Team, they're year-round, and they bring 3 high school teams and make one, and they do different types of team racing. And I'm proud to say that this year they won Best in the Midwest in 2 classes in the Mallory and the Bakers Championship. They went and competed in nationals last weekend, and then they're going next weekend to Washington for nationals. So I'm proud of those guys and what they've done. Special events this year, we are hosting the Junior Olympics Regatta on June 24th through 26th. We have the North Shore Cup on July 22nd. A movie on the beach, July 30th. Family Fun Beach Campout, September 24th. And the Halloween Spectacular, October 29th. New events this year, we're going to do a cardboard canoe regatta. That's a picture down there on the right. And then we are going to roll out a daddy-daughter luau dance. I'm working in partnership with another program manager, John Eldridge. We're looking at the end of summer, beginning of fall to roll that out. Boat storage, we also have boat storage down there. You can do 25 boats in the storage, and then we also have small watercraft boat storage for seasonal storage. Any questions?
I had one quick one. The seasonal rental for the paddle boards and the kayaks, how does that work? I was curious because every time I've been down there hasn't been much usage of those. I haven't noticed it. And so that was one thing that I was like, hey, I wonder how we could improve that.
So that's, sorry to interrupt, but that's that's part of the boating center. We're trying to get that out where you can buy the pass and you get like a year-long pass and you can use it, and we're really trying to promote that within some of our literature and down at the beach. So and then also we're going to have one central location for rentals. We're going to kind of have like a little tent table area where that's where you go, so you don't have to track down somebody to find the rental or whatnot. So we're going to make it very more customer friendly and, one central location to try to up those, because we do have the vessels. Let's get them out there on the water.
Okay, so one quick follow-on question.
Yes.
So if, for example, my son was there and he was with 2 buddies and he had the pass and they didn't, would they be able to rent on a daily basis if they wanted to go out together? Or
I do have some information, and I believe you can bring friends along with that. So, because I know you can bring friends. Usage is per boat, not per person.
Okay.
So.
And I had a question, Aaron.
Yes.
So do we measure attendance at the beach throughout the summer and participation in programs?
We do.
And I don't know if you're the right person to ask or not.
For programs, we have the rosters printed off from our reservation system. And then as far as people coming in, we take little tallies. I have the sheets on my computer that we take tallies of who comes in the man gates.
And do we set any targets for, as I'm thinking as a business and consumption and participation, do we set any targets as to how many guests we'd like to see or people engaged in the beach and participating in programs? And
that I'm not sure, but
We don't necessarily set a target. We like to have a lot of participation, and history shows that we do. In the past, we only counted visits from residents because we would count people who came by car. And we can go anywhere between 50,000 and 75,000 depending on the weather. The beach is very much a weather-driven facility. We do have staff there from 9 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, so the counts are pretty accurate. And this year, we are hoping to actually track by zip code, because we would like to see, through the Joint Task Force, one of the directives was to find out how many people from Lake Bluff actually do visit our beach, so that we can assess that and see what the usage would be like should we be able to allow Lake Bluff to use our beach as a resident versus non-resident. It's part of a process that's going to take a couple of years, but this year we will track by zip code.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one other question. When you did the Junior Olympics, was that 2 years ago we did it? Was it right? And are we closing? How are we going to do it the same way we did it last time we did it? Get all the volunteers and kind of use the whole south end, close that out, right? That gets all closed down, and then just get and everything else will be the same like we did like last time. And how are we getting community to, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is Morgan. He's my sailing manager.
Morgan, could you step to the microphone, please, over here?
Such a great event. I think it's really great to have Lake Forest do that.
Yeah, it's real exciting. We actually trade it with Minnetonka every
Right.
year, so this is our year. And this year is actually sort of special because normally it's a 2-day event, and this year we're having coaches flown in from all over the country, and it's going to be a clinic as well as a
That's
Junior
terrific.
Olympics. So it's 3 days. It's a little more involved. It's a lot more expensive, but the kids make up for it for the most part. And it's so it's actually really kind of an honor. We're actually one of only 4 sites in the country that are doing the 3-day out of the 20 sites that do it. I think it's 20 sites. So it's a little different, but yeah, it's going to be a lot like what you've seen before.
I'm
We'll have
looking
the
for
big
host
tent.
homes and stuff still like you did last time.
No one's asked us for host homes. We'd be
Not
happy
yet.
to ask around if
Okay.
you'd like to host someone. I'm sure. That
No,
we'll
I just
talk about
last
that.
time I know there was a bunch of that happened, or at least there was. I heard some about it. And was there a volunteer kind of drive for that too? Looking for
There will be. We've already got a number of volunteers. Most of the high school sailing team parents are volunteering,
Oh,
and
perfect.
the younger kids' parents are also volunteering.
perfect.
But we'll certainly be looking for more volunteers because we feed so many people and we do so many things
Yeah.
as part of it. And we also have other parts of the city that are volunteering. The animal people are coming, and the Kinderhaven people are talking about helping out. So we have a lot of different things going on.
Perfect.
But if you would like to host, we certainly would put your name on a list.
Or volunteer.
Or volunteer. I'm going to jump in a little bit. Traditionally, what we actually do is we don't close the south end down, we open the south end up. We waive parking on that end so that people can come down and participate and view the regatta. Where it causes a little bit of chaos for our boaters, it's a 3-day event that happens every 2 years, and it's extremely special. And this year it's even more special for, I think, for our sales center, because one of our own, who started here when she was very young, is actually going on to Rio.
She's going to Rio.
So it's exciting. She doesn't claim Lake Forest as her home club anymore, but we take great pride that she did start with us. So it's an exciting time.
For sure. Thank you. Well, welcome.
Yeah,
Sounds
Thanks.
exciting.
right.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Sally, comments? You gonna come over here?
Got to lower everything for the short person. So tonight I'm gonna come from the podium tonight because a couple of topics concerning the lakefront have come up since your agenda packet went out. Today in the Tribune there was an article about water levels in Lake Michigan and how they are extremely high. This year they're approximately 4 feet higher than they have been in probably the last 10 to 15 years. I've had some questions not only from a board member but also from a reporter as to whether this would affect our beachfront. And I'm here to reassure you that it actually will not, should not affect our lakefront. The viability of our beachfront was pretty much put into place back in 1986 when we went through the large renovation project. And for those of you who are new to Lake Forest, in 1984, they began discussions about erosion that was taking place down at the lakefront and the need to preserve our beach as well as our bluff. And they went to referendum, and the residents voted overwhelmingly to fund the renovation at the beach. So the city funded about $8.5 million to produce the lakefront that we have now, and then there was additional amount dollars raised privately that took the number up to 9.1. One of the things people are extremely proud of is that project was paid entirely by Lake Forest private funds as well as city funds. There are no federal or state dollars in the project. So the renovation, the beach, for those of us who were here when we were little, was a lot smaller. And the area between the south end and the north end, you could actually not traverse. So when they went through this process, they decided to add about 4 acres of new beach, and they created about 4 acres of new land. Now, our beach front is actually about 3/4 of a mile long, but the properties that they added totaled 8 acres. They went through a very extreme design campaign, and the engineers actually built and designed the revetments, which are the stone breakwaters, to withstand high water, to withstand the high wave action, and to protect our bluff and our beach. They actually built an exact replica up in a facility in Canada where they ran tests of every single type of weather, wave action, and water level to see how it would withstand those pressures, and it came out great. And so I just want to reassure you that we are in good standing. I don't know how long we'll be blessed with this high water, because I truly see it as a blessing. The lake level has been low for the last 10 to 15 years. So once the level goes down, I'm sure we'll have to go in and do a study, but I'm hoping that's several years out. So if anybody asks you, we should be in good standing. The next thing that has come to the attention through a very observant resident over the weekend is as you go down to the south end of the beach on the road, we are starting to see some shifting of the bluff and some erosion of the ground surrounding it. This shift has increased with the last 3 days of very heavy rain, and the soil has dropped about 2 to 3 feet below grade. So here's a picture of how this is shifting and cracking. And as you can see, it's just as you come off of that top curve as you're heading down south. Here's another picture of another cutoff, which is on the other side of the road. So I wanted to make you aware of this so that you would have information should you get questions from the public. It could affect our operations in the next few weeks, and so I wanted to make you aware of that as well. So what the city is doing, thankfully the very aware residents reported to the city immediately, and we were able to get the ball rolling early yesterday morning. We have contacted AECOM engineering firm. It's a firm we have used in the past at this facility. They know it well. They have done previous studies. They are highly recommended by the city's engineering firm, Gewalt Hamilton, who did not feel they could handle this project in the time that we needed them to handle it. So they said, please call in AECOM. They'll do it right for you. What they're going to do is they're going to come in hopefully within the next day and evaluate and then recommend action that we will need to take to repair. What we are going to do off of their evaluation is establish the safety of the road, as well as if we have to close it for the weekend for traffic. The weather's starting to get better, and people are very anxious to get those boats out on the water, but boats are heavy. And while it's not so much the traffic on top, we want to make sure that it stays intact to where it's at right now. So I'll have further information by hopefully the end of the week as to how this might affect our operations.
Have we had this problem before, Sally, ever?
We did have this problem before. About right after the North Shore Sanitary District Basin project was done in 2007. They came in and lowered the road and added curbs, because prior to that, the water was running off and causing some sloughing of the bluff. By adding the curbs, the water now runs over the top of the road, and that's not the issue. That's not what's causing this issue. The water is actually coming up from underneath it. So it's the drainage that it's passing underneath it that's causing this sloughing off. So we have had the issue. This company has actually looked at it for us, and so we are hoping they will have a repair suggestion that we can do in a very timely fashion.
Do you have any idea how long it will take to get that?
It's going to be based on what their evaluation is and the statistics and the data that they collect, because we certainly want them to do it right. So now on to the fun stuff, the programming. I just would like to remind everyone that there is still an opportunity to register for our summer camps, which begin in June. It's a great and fun thing to do. We have camps we have art camps out at Sterling Hall, camps at the beach. We have computer camps at the rec, dance camps, nature camps out at Elowa, as well as McCormick, which has moved to Northcroft for the summer due to the Gliffer project happening in the ravine, but will be going back to McCormick, as well as sports, and then your traditional day camp. So if you haven't registered, please come on in, because we'd love to have you for the summer. The next opportunity to participate at the rec is Kindershop, which is an upscale resale event that benefits Kinderhaven Preschool. It's happening May 21st in the gym at the rec center from 9 to 3 p.m. And it's an opportunity to really get some great gently used children items. And we are still taking donations at the Kinderhaven Preschool Academy, which is at 400 Hastings Road. So if you have something you'd like to donate, we would greatly take it off your hands. West Park. If you remember, back in March, we approved a playground reconstruction at West Park. I am happy to say that demolition is going to start next week, weather dependent. And should all things go well, we're hoping to start construction the first week of June. And it usually takes 2 weeks to a month to get that playground in and the put in place, and properly allowed to cure. But it should be exciting, and yes, this playground is absolutely going back in the same footprint. We had some concerns that it might be extending out into the skating rink, but it is not. It's going back in the same footprint. And through this actual construction project, we were able to make some ADA repairs to the concrete as well as to the entrance into the tennis courts. So it's been a benefit across the board. The Fred Jackson, not quite memorial, golf outing is coming up on June 3rd. It's one of our large fundraising mechanisms for the Friends of Lake Forest Parks and Recreation Foundation. We are still accepting foursomes, so if you would like to play, we'd love to have you. We start out with check-in and lunch at 11:30. Then we do a mega putt contest, which everybody putts into the same hole, and the first one in wins. And then at 12:30, we do a shotgun start. It is a lot of fun with a lot of really wonderful people, so I encourage you to come out and play with us. Wildlife Discovery Center will again this summer be hosting an Animals in the Park program. It's a tour of the parks where they bring out the animals from the Discovery Center and allow our residents to interact and participate with the animals and get to know them. I really wanted to call your attention because on Friday, June 17th, we're actually going to do the first event in the new park, Open Lands Park. So the animals will be in Open Lands Park at 12:30, and we hope that people come out, visit with the animals, but also get a look at the park so that when we go to our visioning sessions in September, we can get some good input from our community. Concerts in the Square are also beginning June 16th. They happen every Thursday evening in Market Square. We have different bands come in, and it's a really lovely, fun event. And again, I encourage people to come on, bring a picnic, and enjoy some family time in the square. And it's a great time. Car show is July, when is the car show? July 28th? 28th? 21st? Okay. Okay. I was like, huh? Again, I want to reiterate the Junior Olympic Sailing Festival. It's hosted at Lake Forest Beach. I was looking through some pictures from past sailing festivals. I want to say we started in 2002, maybe? Yeah, 2002. And it's just a really neat event. And we do a lot of onshore activities for families and siblings and anybody who happens to stop in. So it's a lot going on the water and a lot going on the land. So please stop through. And last but certainly not least is the the largest fundraising mechanism for the Friends of Lake Forest Parks and Recreation, which is the Festival and Fireworks, always on the 4th of July, hosted at Deer Path Park. This year, the entertainment is called MJ Live, which is a Michael Jackson show out of the Stratosphere in Las Vegas. They are bringing the entire show. The opening act is called Boy Band Review, so it's songs from the 90s. And it should be a lot of fun. Registration, I believe, has opened up on the Friends website, which is friendsoflfpr.org. So if you would like to purchase your tickets early, you can go ahead and do that. And that concludes my director's report.
Thank you, Sally. Any questions or comments by board members?
Two. How did the opening go at the golf course? With the renovations and.
It was a very soft opening. I think they're planning to do a bigger event closer to Memorial Day. But I was actually there shortly after they uncovered everything, just sort of sitting in the dining area watching reactions. People love it. They are amazed by it, happy by it. Just the talk and the faces, it was a wonderful, wonderful thing to do.
Right.
So
over Memorial Day, we'll do something sort of.
I believe that Kemper is planning some kind of a social event that weekend, yes.
Perfect.
So
You talked about for members, right? At least for maybe open the public.
I think they will open to the public.
Any plans to do anything more in the parking lot?
Yes, so the parking lot was resealed, but it happened right after a heavy rain. And the water table at the parking lot is big. And so while we thought the surface was dry and it was okay to reseal, the actual north end of the parking lot suffered some damage from the water. So the company is going to come back out, patch cracks and such, and reseal that area. So.
Yeah, because it's the erosion has spread even back farther south now.
And the company, we're fully aware that it needs to be taken care of, and we will as soon as we foresee a dry spell. But we just haven't gotten it yet.
Okay. And obviously we're down with the weather, huh?
Yeah. I haven't seen the numbers yet this month, but yeah, I would suspect we're down.
Rick said we made budget for last fiscal year, right?
We did make budget for last fiscal year, and we were actually ahead, I think, in April. I'm not quite sure how, but believe it or not, food and beverage was going pretty good, even though they were eating in the pro shop. So.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? If not, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Next meeting will be at MSD, right? On the third Tuesday in June.
We might have a presentation from Ann Whipple on